Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, genders of all ages, welcome to SpeedGaming Live 2020, Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament. We are in the round of 32. We have on our left Jet082, aka Jet, and on the right jmeasher. And joining me in the booth today is Koi. Hello, sir.
Hello. So I don't know about Jet's path to get here, but jmeasher knocked out Andy yesterday, so a lot to be expected from him here.
Yeah, this is going to be what the children call a banger of a race, I think.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I watched that race yesterday. It was pretty amazing. So, and yeah, I believe Jet swept his group 4-0. So these are two pretty terrific runners.
Not surprising. Jet is a pretty fantastic player. So yeah, during the race with Andy, though, jmeasher played like super aggressively. And when we talked to him afterwards, he said it's because it was Andy, right? But
oh, absolutely.
There's lots of Andys in this tournament, and Jet is one of them. So I'm curious to see if we'll see that much aggression again from jmeasher. And if we do, does it pay off this time?
Yeah, it was a super interesting dichotomy to watch the the super technical runner be very thorough and knowing he can catch up on execution versus the guy, taking the risks because he knows at the end of the day in an execution battle he just doesn't win. So I love those kind of races because it makes for some crazy rando stuff. So I'm hoping for that again this seed.
Yeah, there's definitely no way to say like one is definitely better than the other, right? Until we know where all the things are, all routes are plausible and reasonable.
Absolutely. So we should be starting pretty shortly. Before we start, let's get a little prediction and maybe a bit of commentary, Koi, on what you think of what I've seen a lot in the Saha start with, since you start with the boots.
What?
A lot of runners will actually run right to Saha's closet in Eastern because they have the boots to start the race. How do you feel about that?
That's how I choose to start in an open boot seed. I prefer that route. I feel like I definitely hate it, but so does everyone else. It's not a me thing. It's an everyone thing. Eastern is terrible. We don't want to do Eastern until I have a bow. But in the process of not wanting to go to Eastern, you kind of end up not going to Sahasrahla too. So starting with the boots gives you this really unique opportunity to immediately get Sahasrahla out of the way, get those quick 3 checks. And then Eastern can, sit over there by its lonesome for a while.
Yeah, considering the start of the game, if you are going to start in Link's house, the freest checks, right? If you do Uncle Start, you've got 2. If you happen to be a madman and want to run down to the dam for some reason, that's also 2. Or you can go to Saha for 3, and it is free because you don't need bombs when you possess the boots.
Yeah, bombs are the early game bombs are much less important with a boot start because not only do you not need bombs to do like Sahasrahla's hut, but having boots doesn't really make the Uncle route any better, right? You can't dash very much on that screen because they have to kill the guards. And even if you go Sync Start and over to Kakariko right away, there's a guaranteed bomb in the Bonk Rocks. So, being able to find bombs and everything just isn't as big a deal. So jmeasher looks like he will be doing Sahasrahla start. He does go down and check the island first, though. It was a single arrow.
That's always a mini hold your breath when you take a look at the island for the first time. Oh, there's a glove for Jet in Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, you could take that right now and do backup escape, but it does look like he'll just head up to Aga or to Lumberjack instead.
Yeah, a lot of the runners that I've ever talked to said they, when they decide on an opening route, they really don't want to diverge from it because they have sort of routed out in their head, and if they do something different, they may end up skipping checks unless they're, like they still mark their trackers, which a lot of the runners, really good runners, don't actually have, location trackers, just item trackers.
Right. So jmeasher did find a hammer in Sahasrahla's hut. So this is impactful, right? Because glove and hammer are the 2 things you're going to need for Dark World access. But the glove is on the way. jmeasher is going to get it right now. And the hammer is out of the way. Jet's not going to get that until he's, prepared to go to Eastern, which you don't want to do.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't do the Saha boot start, you're probably... nothing's really changed in your mindset about Eastern. You're just not going to go there until you have to. So that's going to put his hammer much later than jmeasher's.
So you see Jet going out of his way to kill extra enemies here. This is to set up a tree pull, either a two or tier 3 pull, depending on if he takes damage. But he just got a bomb from that last buzz blob, so maybe not as big a deal now. Both runners with lots of rupees from those. Oh, there's a bomb for jmeasher as well. Lots of rupees from the bush crabs there.
Yeah, that's a pretty friendly bush crab, let me tell you. Oh, Jamie.
Murdered!
Oh, feels bad.
So rude. All right, Jeff finishing up his Lost Witch text, heading into Kakariko. But will he go to the bonk rock real quick? Nope, just going to stay on one bomb.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people like to go into CAC with at least 2, right? You get those.
Yeah, two would ideal, right? It's a really high chance that in these, like 4, and then you get to bomb one of them. So 9 checks. One of them is going to be bombs, right? But it's not guaranteed. So there you got bombs. So no problem here for Jet.
And with a glove and a crap load of money, we got King Scammerino looming large.
Yeah, with the boots, we can water walk to the ferry as well. So definitely might see that. I feel like we do see a lot more early flipper checks in boot start. jmeasher gets the 50-50 bomb and the bonk rock bomb.
Oh, he's loaded.
Taking no chances.
Yeah, I feel like the only non-fan of this tournament is Hobo, because that guy gets orphaned a lot with these boot starts.
No, you'd always do Hobo with boot start, because you just dash there from Ice Rod Cave. But like the Zora area, you don't always see that right away.
Oh, really? See, I've been seeing a lot of people just water walk, check the island, take the portal of Zora, check the Zora ledge, and if they have money, go there. Otherwise, run back. And oh yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the most common opener I see for people with the boots is from Ice Rod Cave. You water walk and grab the waterfall ferry, and then go to Hobo and orphan Zora. I don't like it. Like it's not a decision that I would like to make, because I don't like orphaning Zora. It feels very uncomfortable. But with this many rupees, we may see them do it a little differently. You can store your water walk and then fake flipper up to Hobo and then water walk down to Waterfall Ferry and Zora. Or just skip out on Hobo entirely, since you'd rather do Zora at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not going to do it then, you're hoping to do it in a mirror check with Catfish. And if you don't have the mirror then, it still feels pretty bad.
So Jet ends up buying bombs at the end of his CAC route. jmeasher may not do that, because he's going to end up with 3 extra bombs.
Yeah, that signals to me that I think Jet probably maybe wants to go South Shore after, oh, we're going to need that bottle.
This feels so bad to get the bottle. Because there's
it's not
4
as
of them,
bad with boots, though.
I know, but least... like, you get the bottle, and now how do you not go do Sick Kid right now, right? So it's such a huge time commitment for this one check, and you might have just got a bottle later anyway. But you got to do it, because we're looking for Dark World access. Can't take chances like that.
Yeah, especially with 2/3 of the way to Dark World access. You don't want to miss Moon Pearl and Sick Kid or something, because that's probably a last location. So jmeasher set to the same fate. He's going to probably do the same thing, check Sick Kid.
But is it worth it? No. It was not.
Absolutely not.
So no time gained or lost here, though, because both players are going to make this play. Alright, so Jet saves and quit, and looks like back of escape is the order of the day here.
Yeah, I like to, with an early weapon, especially hammer, and, with a mid setup like this, check the back of escape, see, whether you pick up the key of the map, and then hit the front of escape, kind of get that out of your out of your way and done, because I've seen a few runners get pretty much burned by, say, a mirror hook shot in the front of escape, and they're not checking it for an hour. Wow.
There is our Dark World access. Not for Jet, but jmeasher, yes.
So one single useful item, and it is the Moon Pearl, which does give us Nomo Dark World access, but jmeasher is going to get that pretty quickly here.
It can be a little uncomfortable to get Dark World access this early, because you don't want to just not do Mini Moldarm Cave, right? And it's not like anybody really wants to do 5 Heart Swordless Thieves down.
Yeah, please no.
Although I'm sure they can do it, but you don't want to do it.
Yeah, I think the South Light World is just too tempting at this point.
And that was the map and the small key in the back, so there will be something in Dark Cross later.
Correct, absolutely.
Pretty gross
no,
to go there from here, though. Okay, jmeasher not interested in leaving behind South Shore. He's going to take care of Mini Moldarm Cave before Dark World. So this is why I was concerned about him buying bombs, though. Because Jet was on 1 bomb, so he bought 10. jmeasher was on 3, so he didn't buy any. So now he's kind of forced himself into this kill these things with hammer situation, which Mini Moldarms don't like to cooperate.
Especially when you're hitting from the south. Not too bad.
Didn't die. We are out of bombs, though, so that's a little concerning.
Yeah, I hope to pick some up here. We can't go to Ice Rod Cave, right? Oh, we got some synchronized Mini Moldarm here.
Yeah, both players picking up their sword and blue mail. And 3 bombs for jmeasher. Nice.
He gets bailed out.
Well, he would have been mostly fine, because there's a 50-50 rock near Ice Rod Cave, but it's a 50-50 rock. Oh, he's not even going to Ice Rod Cave. I disagree.
Oh, right. He's doing the right to left strat where he's gonna go.
Yeah, but now he never does Ice Rod Cave. Goodbye, Ice Rod Cave. I guess we're just not gonna do that shit. I mean, he'll have an opportunity to do it later if he gets, say, flute or flippers. He might go there at that point.
It's maybe just for the sake of being thorough. He may go run here to Agina and then come down and do Ice Rod all the way up into Zora area to save and quit, so he's not orphaning Agina, which so many people do. Maybe that's his logic, I'm thinking. I don't know. I think I like it very much. Like you said,
he just goes to the Dark World after this. Just straight to the Dark World. Yep, he's going Dark World. Okay, so Jet is activated his water walk from Ice Rod Cave, so he's going to check a few more stuff. And yeah, like we were talking about, going to the flipper area first. Unclear at this point if he's going to continue on to Zora or if he'll just go back for Hobo.
And we had our
first map check.
That was 2 bad pendants at Eastern. Oh, here's another one. Okay, so bad pendants at Eastern and Desert. 5-6 crystals at Thieves Town and Ice, and the green pendant at Pod. No, I've never seen 2 map checks back to back like that. Can Hype Cave still be hyped? Sorry.
Nah. Oh, Jet being super thorough here. He's gonna go back for Hobo.
And the Bank of Hyrule says nothing useful. That was literally all money.
So I'm a little concerned for jmeasher because we don't know yet, but that Ether Medallion could be required.
Oh, was the Ether what he got?
Ether was at Ice Rod Cave.
Oh, at Ice Rod Cave. Okay. I was gonna say I thought I saw a big 20 from Zora, but. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure why. I mean, I've watched a few of his races. I don't think I've ever seen him abandon Ice Rod Cave like that. So
it's not too uncommon of a play. Like I've seen players do it, but like with boots, I don't like it with boots. Ice Rod Cave is not. It's not going to get much worse, or not much better. He did it because he wanted to end the route at the dam, so he could just enter the Dark World right there and avoid the save and quit.
It does pay out if you get a flute in decent time, right? Because those spots are a lot easier to get to.
Yeah. course,
we did get note that,
how often do I see a player find the flute and then still not go to Ice Sword Cave?
True. We just had a heads up that we do apologize if the tracker's a little behind. The server hosting the tracker is a bit slow today, so if you see the tracker not getting updated in time, please don't holler at us. Our tracker arrive is clicking the buttons as fast as he can.
All right, Jet's still searching for that hammer. That's the hospitalist start, really paying off for jmeasher here. Jet gonna go after front of escape instead. So jmeasher took a pretty uncommon route, I'd say, especially with sword and hammer and Thieves' Sense of Pendant, or crystal, I mean. An uncommon route to do Hype Cave up to Catfish. It does end up with the powder at the end of it, so potentially worth.
I think this harkens back to the chat we had at the beginning of the game where, it feels like you said Jet is basically like an Andy, so we're probably going to see some pretty aggressive routing from jmeasher, and I think skipping Ice Rod Cave is probably part of that.
Sure, yeah, but going to Catfish isn't. It's kind of like the opposite, right? What is happening? Oh, he was gonna do Magic Bat, but then realized he didn't have magic.
Oh, that's
so he killed the guard on the off chance that it happened to drop magic.
I have done this more times than I care to count, unfortunately. And it looks like Jet found his Master Sword in the front of Escape.
Yeah, so front of Escape, not gonna give him Dark World access, but doesn't mean it can't have awesome things.
Yeah, he's going to be a bit more prepared for the Dark World than jmeasher was when he first entered. Master Sword, I mean, I guess the Thieves' Town is fine with the Fighter Sword, but I always prefer to have that Master Sword go in the dark.
It's kind of nice to have the Master Sword for the crickets. But, with boots, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Jet.
That's unfortunate.
I'm sorry. That's happened to me too many times. So he wanted a Death Warp because there's something in Dark Cross, and it's more convenient to take damage on the Ball and Chain guard. So he took damage first, then killed the Ball and Chain guard, then opened the chest and got full heal. So meaning that all the time he spent taking damage on purpose was just wasted.
We're going to see Dark Cross from Jet, which I feel is a little easier from the front than the back. Marginal, but still.
I think with the sword, it's not too bad either way. Like, killing the rat's annoying, but it's not so bad with the sword.
And first dip into Thieves for jmeasher.
Yeah, we didn't mention it, but jmeasher did find the bow in the chest game of Village of Outcasts. Not the item we want to find at this point, but one we'll need eventually.
Yep, exactly. A good find now, but doesn't really help us at the moment.
Yeah, both of our bow lock dungeons are pendants.
Oof, you hate to see pendant pod, honestly. It never feels good.
All right, and just over 15 minutes into the seed, Jet headed after Sahasrara. So he ran out of all his good checks and now has to do bad checks. But then he'll find the answer right before going into Eastern, so it works out.
And jmeasher picks up what we know as the third sword in Thieves' Town, so runners are going to have fairly early tempered, which is pretty nice to see.
Well, Jet will, at least. The more things jmeasher finds, the harder it is going to be for him to go to front of escape. Like, front of escape is slow, takes nearly a full minute to get down there.
Yeah, I've seen it called the fourth pendant dungeon, which does feels that way sometimes. With boots, it's not as bad, but it can be awfully slow without.
Yeah, essentially, you want to be forced to go to front of escape early on, so it doesn't feel bad, or you want to save it and mirror over to it from the pyramid or something. Of course, jmeasher already did the pyramid, so front of escape is even extra orphan. But if he runs out of nice checks, or if he just doesn't really want to go to the pendant pot or something, we may see front of escape before that.
And with looks like ice is the other 5-6 other than Thievestown. Thievestown. I don't think we're gonna see Pyramid Ferry anytime soon in our future.
Yeah, a bit of ways away. Looks like Jet's headed over to Front of Skull Woods. jmeasher opted not to do this. This is one of those you either do it or you don't kind of plays.
Yeah, if there was a biggest comeback trophy for this tournament, it's gonna have to go to Value Woods because I've just seen so much stuff in this place. Every match I watch, there's some random progression, pendant or not, in the Front of Skull Woods.
My personal preference is to only do Front of Skull Woods if I'm looking for the hammer. But a lot of players will just always do it no matter what. Some players will avoid it no matter what it says as well.
And there's merits to both, but
yeah,
the time you get burned with a fire rod in the Front of Skull Woods is when you start rethinking that.
Well, that's exactly what happened in the race yesterday.
With Andy and Jamie.
Wait, was it their race? It was a different some race icon had the fire rod in the Front of Skull Woods, but both runners just did it.
Yep, that was jmeasher and Andy, and yeah, you're right. They both probably felt pretty good about going there and finding it, feeling a little bit ahead by finding it and they find there. But yeah, it turns out they both did it pretty much at the same time, if I recall. First boss fight here for jmeasher. He's blind in Thievestown. I'm not gonna say the word, but it's a pretty straightforward fight now for most runners of this caliber.
The word?
the joke, a lot of commentators meme about how it's a scripted fight.
It's not a meme. It is a scripted fight. What do you mean?
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
Got him.
It's not a meme at all.
That is first blood for jmeasher at about 1830. First 5-6 crystals as well. Ooh.
And there's our first fire swords from Jet. So there was a tempered sword in Thievestown as well. 2 swords in Thievestown. So we now have knowledge on all 4 swords. Jet does find the lamp in Front of Skull Woods, which is totally worth.
Yeah, being the only fire source right now, absolutely. Oh!
Flipper's okay.
Yeah, lamp and hammer now. And
this
bow,
maybe
pendant on is looking juicy.
This may be jmeasher's opportunity to do Ice Rod Cave now with the flippers. We still don't know if Ether is required, but you know, Medallion in Sphere 1, it's probably required.
Seems that way most of the time. Unfortunately, having the flippers is not going to allow him to water walk, so it's going to be a bit slower.
You can water walk with flippers.
You sure? I guess you'd be the expert on that.
Well, I mean, until you touch shallow water. So you won't be able to take his water walk into the Zora area because he has to cross the shallow water, but he can water walk to Hobo.
Oh, okay, so that's still pretty valuable then.
Okay, this is good. He is going to Ice Rod Cave. I was super worried he'd try and skip it. Like, it feels like you want to skip it, right? Because, it's so slow to do this extra check like this. It's probably nothing. But this is the art of the aggression, of the aggressive routing. It's okay to skip things, as long as you have a plan for getting back there, right? The bad skips are the ones where it's like, well, I guess I'll just skip this, and if there's progression there, I'll lose the race. That's fine. You don't want to do that if you can help it.
Yeah, also known as Graveyard Ledge. I like to try to purposely put off King's Tomb if I can, until I'm able to route it in with Graveyard Ledge. Otherwise, it just sits there looking so bad.
So you saw there, jmeasher set up the water walk, and then he jumped into the water from the slanted terrain, which kept the water walk stored while he swam. And then when he hopped from the waterfall down, he starts the water walk that way. I
see. Yes, avoiding the shallow water, and you can't bonk in a water walking state because that will, if you land in the water, you'll be knocked out of it. I learned that many times the hard way.
Yeah. So jmeasher doing these flipper checks does even him up with Jet quite a bit. Although I think jmeasher's flipper checks, nah, I guess they're about even, like how quick they were.
Yeah, our runners basically covering each other here. We haven't seen much in the way of anything new. Jet is ahead of Lamp from Skull Woods. jmeasher has the powder, which I forget where he got that.
Catfish.
Catfish.
But he
right?
was unable to do the magic bat check. So we haven't
Oh,
seen
that's right. You never went that.
We actually haven't seen the check at all.
In terms of equipment set, though, I mean, we've got Tempered Sword. Jet's going to have a Gold Sword. We've got Blue Mail. We're at, what, 8 hearts? I mean, that's more than enough for these runners to complete the seed. So we're just basically in progression item hunt here.
Yeah, and that progression is looking like it's over in pod right now.
Yeah, the game is hard pointing you to pen and pod with a lamp, hammer, and bow all ready to go.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little easier of a decision for Jet, seeing as how he already has the lamp as well. jmeasher might put it off for a little bit, just for that reason. Are you really going to Magic Bat? jmeasher, are you really going to Magic Bat? Okay.
Wow, this is interesting. This is quite out of the way for a single check. And doesn't even get the spin speed.
Well, he let go of the spin before the transition.
I don't know how to do the spin speed, so I'll leave that one to you.
Well, the idea is you release your spin and then tap A on the very next frame after having released B. But transitioning the screen, like, undoes it. So he was never going to be able to spin speed there if he released the spin on the previous screen. All right, jmeasher really wants to know if Catfish was worth it. It's a huge play to go to Catfish. I don't blame him for wanting to know what it leads to. But unfortunately, just 10 arrows.
That's the bad news. Meanwhile, on Jet's side, about 30 seconds ago, he completed his first boss, finishing Thieves Town.
Yeah, up to Butter Sword now.
Yeah, sub 25-minute Butter Sword. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, I definitely don't blame jmeasher for wanting to follow the powder like he did. I think he knows that it was a lower percent play, like it was not likely to be the answer. But if it was the answer, that's like a game-winning kind of move, right? Because nobody wants to do Catfish.
That's a routing plan, obviously, right? It's just to see if it's going to pay off right away.
Interesting, he's opting to go Eastern over Pod here. I mean, both are viable plays, but Pod, a lot more items, and very early on has bowlock checks when it comes to following the progression you found.
Yeah, more checks overall too, right? I feel like the optimal play might be go into Pod, especially if you happen to get a mirror, right? You just are able to boom mirror over and then do Eastern.
Yeah, I think that's probably what he's thinking. Like maybe he wants to do both, or he thinks he wants to do both, so he doesn't want to have to run over here twice. So does
just a hedge against that. Yeah. Yep, good call.
I think for Jet it's going to be a little different. I bet Jet stays in the Dark World here and just goes to Pod following Hype Cave.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree.
Maybe does Pyramid on the way. Maybe.
Yeah, having done Front of Escape, I could definitely see him just getting that Pyramid check out of the way, considering, again, like we talked about earlier, there's no way we're going to get that other 5-6 crystal anytime soon. Well, although we do have flippers now, but we don't have any fire to...
the reason I wouldn't want to do... Pyramid here in Jet situation is because I already did Front of Skull Woods. So if I do Pyramid by itself and I do Front of Skull Woods by itself, Catfish is now impossible to route in a convenient way.
Oh yeah, your best bet is with Graveyard Ledge just hopping over in the water, and that still makes it a pretty
or coming from Pyramid Ferry. But those are like, I might get to do those checks rather than that'll definitely happen later. So Jet does opt to skip pyramid for now, heading straight into pod.
Yeah, he decides to agree with you and go right into pod, and probably the correct play. I don't think jmeasher has found anything of note here in Eastern yet. But it looks like he is committed to full clearing it, unless he gets all 3 items first.
Vanilla big key chest, nice little damage boost. Gets a big key. Okay. I would know that if I was paying attention.
Blame the tracker. No. Quick shout out to our tracker, Rav. He's the one clicking the buttons in the background, doing a good job letting us know if we miss anything, etc. Tracking is never easy.
Looks like our last item will be on the boss. Rather annoying room to do in the dark, but sword makes it not so dangerous.
Yeah, one of those dark rooms where if you get lost or get hit, you can really lose track of where you are pretty quickly.
Yeah, my go-to strat is if I get bumped by anything at any point, leave, reset.
Yep. Me too, absolutely. There's no point in
I guess if you have 9 hearts in blue mail, it's not as imperative that you get out of the room. Those popos, they don't do much damage.
Alright, so Jet's gonna head to the Bowlock side of pod, and let's see if we can pick anything up here. You hate to go to Pendant Pod and get nothing out of it, especially with all the items we got early.
jmeasher getting to the left side of the room just a little too slow. Misses out on this quick kill.
I feel
okay,
that
Armos is overpowered. Nice. Did you see that?
Yeah, he got scammed in that fight. I really thought he was high enough that he shouldn't have got hit there. And then
arrows were just going right through that guy's face, hitting the wall behind him. jmeasher's not feeling real good. You can see the disappointment on his cam there.
Give that Armos a raise. Jeez, I've never seen that before, honestly.
Full clear, Pendant Eastern, and nothing to show for it.
Yeah, no choice I think with that and this catfish play, he's got to feel behind at this point.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate because he had that very early Darkhold access.
Oh, and Jet unfortunately misses the hammer jump.
Yeah, he doesn't need to hammer jump. Like, it's not to save the key or anything, but this does make the routing a little bit nicer because now he doesn't have to death warp to get back to Helmosaur King. Which, with being green pendant, we'll probably do it.
Yeah, I think at this point, especially considering I don't think Jet's found anything progression-wise in pod either, I think the play is definitely to go to Helma, depending on what's in the basement here.
Yeah, if he finds something like really good, what would even be? Like maybe mirror by itself would be enough, or hookshot. Yeah. Mirror and hookshot would be amazing. Maybe you don't kill Helmosaur in that situation.
I could see it, especially if he has no plans to do Eastern. If you think you may have to come back and do Eastern.
The other bow, of course. So the bow is like the reason we came here, right? Of all the things in the game that we could do, the bow is like the thing that says, "Hey, go to pod" the most. So we kind of expect the bow to be locking our progression, and in this particular pod, I don't think the bow locked any of these checks in the back, so it's just Helmosaur.
No, that check is in logic, right? With the lamp we got from Skull and Woods, so a non-bow locked bow is not what you like to see. And yeah, Jet is going to go to the back, and I mean, you can't blame him.
Why does he have an extra small key?
Did he not check the vanilla big key chest?
Maybe he skipped it.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I see a lot of runners do this now as well. Yeah, our tracker confirming he did skip it. They'll skip that chest and then just run back in after if it ends up being that that's an item, right? Because you'll know for sure. If it is or
Yeah.
not. The only time you get screwed is
I
when
mean,
it's
it's.
actually-
I think it would depend on like the map compass situation. Like if you know they're both items, it's not really a big deal to do Helmosaur first. Or if Helmosaur is a crystal, right, then it's really not a big deal to do Helmosaur first.
Yeah.
But in this situation, maybe I'd want to know what it was before going to the
that makes
boss.
sense, right?
Because
You
if
really
I
want
find a mirror, like a
to-
mirror hookshot gives me like 20 new checks on the mountain.
Yeah, interesting decision. Yeah, you're right. I
I
don't
would-
understand.
I would
50-50.
absolutely be okay leaving behind Green Pendant Helmosaur if I had the mirror or the hookshot right now.
Of course, he's not going to menu to show us, but I mean, he may know that maybe both items left are map and compass. Though I believe we did for sure see one of those, so I'm pretty sure that is at least 50-50. There's an item there. Oh, he got both our trackers. See, our tracker is on the ball. Rive again. Big shout outs to you, buddy. Maybe that instance is thinking he knows they're both items. So
Yeah, I think he's probably just committed to Helmosaur. Like he's like whatever is in that other chest, it doesn't matter. I would always kill Helmosaur, so might as well do it first.
Yep, and he's right there, so it makes sense. I can understand it.
Just a piece of heart on Helmosaur.
Unfortunately, you're gonna have to save and quit to turn that bad boy in because we did not find the mirror, unless this final check, which I'm positive Jet's gonna go in for, is the mirror. I think jmeasher has done the exact same route and he's skipped that chest, so it's gonna be interesting to see what it is.
Yeah, jmeasher without that lamp, gonna have to do these dark rooms the hard way. Titans.
Wow.
See, like they're
Yeah,
nice. We like the mitts. You don't mind having the mitts. Mitts are good. Right now, not so much. Mitts are not a friendly item at the moment.
That is so interesting because I think you could ask 100 runners, if they went there and found those mitts first, would you just leave? Right? Would you continue
not.
or would you?
No, because what do the mitts do for us? We can now do
yeah.
We can now do King's Tomb and Mirrorless Smith sequence. Yes.
Oh,
fantastic.
That's good.
Mirrorless,
that's always good.
These are not comfortable checks. I feel like even if he had checked that first and found the mitts, I think he'd still kill Helmosaur.
And
okay, King's Tomb gives him the Fire Rod, which gets him one item in Skullwoods.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Of course.
And Ice Palace.
I mean,
oh, good.
At least it's kind of linear, right?
Yeah. All right, so that's pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah.
All right, so he goes to Skullwoods first because it's more free time-wise, and hopes maybe he finds something good in the back of Skullwoods. But after this, don't really have a lot of choices. Ice Palace is pretty much the only thing worth doing.
Yeah, we can't even get in. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess he found the Fire Rod. I was looking at jmeasher's tracker thinking, wait a minute. But yeah, obviously, we just found the Fire Rod. And I think jmeasher agrees with you. He got the mitts and he sort of tilted his head like, all right, that's
yeah, it's just
for me.
It's just not good enough, And with it's 2 items on Helmosaur. It doesn't feel that bad to kill him.
Yeah, and he's already taken down one pendant too. So I mean, on the off chance or something on Ped, he's 2/3 of the way there.
Like if he knew that the mitts led to the Fire Rod, he probably wouldn't do this. But the mitts by themselves, it's so gross.
Oh, come on, man. You and I both know Ice Rod's going to be on Green Pendant.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot harder for jmeasher to turn that in, too. Like, Jet might turn in Green Pendant on his way to Eastern if we get bottlenecked by something else later, but jmeasher Green Pendant's all by itself now. He already did Eastern. We're done in that area.
Yep. Even if the flute, I mean, fluting the 5 and running from Link's house with the boots it's kind of marginal, the time difference, so it still just feels bad to go for that one-off check.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the slowest check ever or anything, but pretty much always have something better to do.
jmeasher in the Dark Turtle room, probably one of the most dangerous dark rooms. And Jet taking on Monty Love with a gold sword, which, fun fact, only does tempered sword damage. But 4 swings will do it for our red rupee.
Honestly, I feel like jmeasher's going to turn in the green pendant as soon as he finishes Helmosaur. Like, just save it quick and go do it, because for him, it is super orphan.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. And I mean, like you said, what's left? I mean, that Fire Rod gets us into ice, or you've got your favorite mirrorless Smith chains.
So
hammer
this,
plates, I guess, too, right?
Yeah. So for jmeasher, this is pretty unfortunate that he full cleared Pendant Eastern for nothing like that. So he's a bit behind at the moment. He'll make up some time here with the Fire Rod, though, because now he'll get to single dip Skullwoods. It's not a big time difference, but, you know, every little bit counts.
Yeah, as we've seen in multiple races in this tournament, seconds do matter.
All right, Jet headed into Crystal Ice Palace. No Canis Maria, so we'll have to do that very rarely seen tech, the Ice Palace bomb jump.
Yeah, the boomer strat, Ice Palace bomb jump. Or if you play NMG, because they haven't approved the icebreaker yet.
Are we going? Yep, immediately going green pen to turn in. I like this. I like this a lot because it is so orphaned. If you don't do it right now, you are never doing this check.
And it goes back to just the same as, you know, he did his catfish. You want to see if it leads somewhere right away, right? He probably feels, he doesn't know that Jet did it as well. He's thinking, you know, let's see if this gamble paid off.
I mean, maybe, I guess. It could.
In before mushroom.
Okay, let's go turn in the next one.
Imagine if this is vanilla flute. That would be amazing.
Just some bombs. Yeah, very unfortunate for jmeasher.
Thought for a second I saw the blue and I thought, no way. Yeah, that is, again, just compounding to his feeling of feeling behind, right?
Yeah, it's real unfortunate he did Eastern first. I'm not sure why. I think it's pretty clear that Pod's the higher percent play in that situation. Eastern could have paid off, but yeah, I guess
I agree.
Yeah, like I can only think that he was just really worried about like being able to do both of them on one save and quit.
It's I mean, I don't say probably, but it's likely a cascading effect from his catfish play, right? At least feels like.
Yeah, it felt like he needed to do the lower percent play to stay in this.
Right. Yep. Oh, Jet gonna show us a rarely used bomb jump, actually.
Now, yeah, you don't see this one as often now that we have Icebreaker. This is a... Okay, well, Jet's making it look harder than it is, but... There you go.
This one's not too bad. You just line up and place the bomb. There's no shenanigans with lining up your sword or anything like that.
Yeah, you just step on that lowest possible pixel, place the bomb, and wait patiently.
All right, so let's see if Jet remembers to pull the tongue. And he does.
Good job. It's funny that you mentioned that because you don't need to pull the tongue in with Icebreaker, right? So if you do Icebreaker like 90% of your seeds, and you get that one where you go into ice without the cane, it's like, oh yeah, I gotta pull the stupid tongue.
Yeah, it's gotten me many a times. And I've started with Ice Palace Bomb Jump, and I still, the muscle memory is like, don't pull the tongue. Nothing in ice so far, though.
Yeah, so far so empty. jmeasher going after the front of Skullwoods before the back. Definitely atypical for him to do this. It pays off
Yeah,
though,
most of the time
because
it's
now he doesn't have to like walk back from the bridge chest in the back.
True. Actually, yeah, without mirror, that's actually quite a long check.
But most of the time for Crystal Skullwoods, you would just go to the boss first. On the off chance of the like both items in the back, then you're done, or big key in the back and locking an item in the front. That way you don't have to double dip the front.
And Jet can do the last two checks here. He's got the big chest and the boss. I believe both of them are items.
Having to do his final bomb jump here. Another very free bomb jump. You just stand in that top right corner, place the bomb, and wait patiently. No progression though.
All right, cold stare, or we're staring down some Smiths.
Well, Jet will not go to Smith's next. I guarantee it. And if we don't get progression on Cold Stare here, Jet's going to Eastern, and that'll be really good news for jmeasher if Jet also spends that time. But I'd say Cold Stare is probably dropping something good.
Yeah, I believe so too. Empty your magic bar into cold stare, gold sword, 4 slashes, and away we go. And moment of truth.
Get an ugly start to that fight, but Cold Sword makes it quick, really easy. And we get a freaking
All right.
Oh my god.
That's all
Mushroom!
Mushroom's not terrible because you can just, I mean, they have flippers, so you can just run.
Yeah,
from
I'll just go turn
Man.
it in, but that's hilarious. Yeah, it wouldn't make
All the
sense for him to do
quests.
anything else here. Immediately take the whirlpool to flippers, or to the
Yeah, absolutely.
mushroom turn in.
He can even just probably run from the mushroom house to Eastern. I think it's probably faster than saving and equipping.
Oh, I have no idea. Nice fight from jmeasher, getting his second item here. And very likely going to see him go to Ice Palace next as well. But, you know, maybe, like, if he feels behind enough, we might do Mirrorless Smiths before Ice Palace.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Oh,
And
the mushroom is nothing! Oh, okay, so this is really, really, really good news for jmeasher, because it looks like Mirrorless Smiths is going to be the answer, right? But Mirrorless Smiths is so bad, there's no way Jet's doing that before Eastern. So all that time that he spent is going to be rewarded. Well, Jet's going to the Dark World. Where are we headed then? Pyramid Catfish, I guess?
Yeah, I think it would have to be, right? He can't get in the swamp. He's on the Hype Cave.
Yeah, Pyramid Catfish is
tablet.
fine-ish. Oh, Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, right.
We just forgot about Pyramid Fairy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, this is probably where the progression is then. Never mind. There were 2 more checks.
We trolled ourselves, man.
I mean, these might be empty and that it is Mirrorless Smiths.
If you're a jmeasher fan, you're hoping so. So I think, yeah, like you said, Jet's definitely going to go to Eastern if this is nothing. I believe jmeasher still has the front of escape to do as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, Jet's route is just ending up much more efficient than jmeasher's. Alright, Pyramid Fairy, have nothing, so we can even up again. That's nothing. And that's nothing. Okay. Wow. I mean, I guess Spike Cave's in logic now. Actually, yes. I think you go Spike Cave before Eastern, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that could be available, but I think you're right.
Like you wanna follow your chain, right? Like, you know, my big play was go to pod. The only thing I found in pod was mitts. The only thing the mitts did was fire rod. The only thing the fire rod did was blue cane. The only thing the blue cane does is spike cave. Like you gotta follow it. Same reason jmeasher turned in magic bat as soon as he could. Same reason he turned in green pen as soon as he could. I think Jet's gonna go to spike cave very, very soon.
That's actually really good advice for people who are new or even relatively new to Roundup, because that's something I fail to do a lot, is just follow the logic chain, because 9 times out of 10 that's going to lead you where you need to go. It's when you go off on these random one-off checks or try to be too thorough that's really going to burn you.
Jet's with got a big smile on his face, finding his like 100th fetch quest.
So I wonder if he's going to go turn that in and do Smith chain since before Eastern, because it's...
Nah, you gotta go right? Spike here. Spike cave. Come on. Do the thing, Jet. That's a spike cave. I mean, you don't want to just like immediately follow every item you get, right? With no regards for anything else. You want to, you know, maintain efficient routing as well. That's why Jet hasn't turned in his green pendant yet, because he knows he can do it when he's ready to go to Eastern.
Right.
But like in this situation, like when you have your options right now are pendant Eastern, mirrorless Smiths, and just, you know, get your save and quit point and do 2 extra checks after it. I think going to spike cave here makes a lot of sense.
Imagine if this is the cape. I don't think we didn't see this check, did we? Yeah, maybe we missed this one.
Bumper cave?
There it is.
Oh, the book. Oh, good.
Okay.
A third
almost
pendant.
As bad.
So, hey guys, guess what's in Logic?
Oh yeah! Wow.
Pedestal is completely
Remember when I said
in
we
Logic
wouldn't get
right
access?
now.
I said earlier we wouldn't get access to the 5/6 crystal till much later. We got it right away, and we talked about the pedal earlier too. But you know, said it was way off, and here we are.
Jet will do a bomb jump here to get back, because he does want to do spike cave. He came up here for spike cave. The book is just gravy, you know. Blue cane is all you need to put this in Logic. Come on. It's nothing!
Wow. Absolutely debated into the Pyramid Fairy. That's nothing.
Alright, so what do we have left? We have Pendant Desert, Mirrorless Smiths, Pedestal.
Tracker rhyme. Oops, all dungeons and all fetch quests.
Oh, Jet's gonna check Ped.
I like this. It makes sense.
I don't
right?
like
You know,
it.
you can.
I think this is,
you don't like it?
This is wrong. No, this is wrong.
I think he wants to know if he can dip out of Eastern the second he gets an item from there, or if he has to go all the way back. So that bumper cave check is actually in Logic with Boots and Lamp, right? So we could have actually gotten the book. I guess you don't check it because you don't have a mirror, right? It's still out of the way to come in here. Oh, fairy in the bottle.
Anyway, so I think it's wrong to check Pedestal in this situation, because in your 3 options that you have right now, the pendants are the better of the 2, right? So like you go to Desert, if it's nothing, then you go to Eastern. If it's nothing, then you just pull Ped rather than checking it. But like,
that's true.
It's not like if Ped is nothing that it makes the Smith sequence better. Although Jet seems to be going that way. I don't know.
He just absolutely.
I mean, it's random, right? The right answer is whichever one ends up having the item. So until we know what
True.
that is, it's hard to say what's better. But I would personally avoid doing these checks as long as I could. And he still has the green pendant, you know, like that's 4 items from going to Eastern. I don't think he's looked at the ledge, so another 3 from Desert. And instead, we're going to do these pretty gross mirrorless Smith checks.
jmeasher wrapped up his Ice Palace fight. He's turning in his mushroom. He's probably gonna follow the same sequence as Jet.
Yeah.
Turn this in. Do the unfortunately non-efficient check of the Pyramid Fairy because he's done all that area, but we've got ourselves a race here.
Yeah, especially if Smith sequence ends up being nothing and jmeasher doesn't do it. This is very time costly for Jet. If it doesn't pay off, the lead could easily change.
Now, of course, jmeasher wishes he had a mirror here so that he could just go ahead and mirror and do the front of escape, I imagine. But he still does have the front of escape to do, which is fairly slow and I believe only nets him a sword.
Yeah, there's no progression there that we know about. But you know, he doesn't know. Oh, he lost his big bomb. No.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, and I missed what the Smiths gave.
I don't think it was anything.
Bombs. Tracker is on point. Yeah, Jet is, man, his routing is really mega efficient. It's crazy to watch.
Yeah, he's managed to avoid a lot of the like checking things in a one-off kind of way. Mirrorless Smiths isn't exactly the most efficient thing he can be doing right now.
I guess until now, yeah.
But yeah, his magic bat check was a bit more efficient than jmeasher's, and he's not even going to continue the Smiths. Not going to do purple chest, and he is headed to Eastern, which we know is empty. This is where jmeasher has a chance to come ahead here.
Wow, 53 minutes in, and we're just bottlenecked so hard.
Well, he's turning in the green pendant first. Maybe he doesn't go to Eastern, I guess. But it's a fetch quest. Like, do you go to Eastern still? He's walking out. He's going to Eastern.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say maybe that being a shovel might have saved him. Actually, maybe he thought I'll just screw Eastern, but
yeah, I think you're right. If he had left, he doesn't go to Eastern anymore. He goes to Desert instead. This is so unfortunate.
This is exciting.
All right, here is our front of escape for jmeasher.
Oh wow, he didn't even do Uncle, so he has 5 checks here. I am surprised he put it off for this long.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him do this before Pod and Eastern, right?
Yeah.
That just seems like a less likely to hurt you kind of play. But either way, like Jet did all these checks too, so it's the same. And now with Jet doing Eastern, the only difference between the runners is Jet did those mirrorless Smith sequence checks, and jmeasher's routing has been a little less efficient. Of course, this sucks for us though, because now we have nothing to talk about. We've already seen all these checks. Jet finds the compass, knowing that the big key has to be in its vanilla spot, making Pendant Eastern just a little bit worse than it already was. So jmeasher does have something in Dark Cross as well. We know it's nothing, but you know, he doesn't. But Death Warping on 11 Hearts Blue Mail is a little different than the Death Warp that Jet did early in the game. If he feels a little aggressive. Yeah, he did. Alright, he stuns the first guard, so probably gonna... Don't do that. Oh my god, if he gets the full heal. I don't know how many pieces of heart he's at.
No.
If this is the fourth piece of heart, this is the most depressing thing that's ever happened to anybody in this game. Please don't be the full heal.
Don't
Please.
do it to him.
Oh, okay, we're good. The thing is, the ball and chain guard does the exact same amount of damage as the green guard when you have blue mail. It's only when you're on green mail that he does more damage. So there's no benefit to taking the damage to the ball and chain guard rather than the green guard. So it was just an unnecessary risk. Thankfully, it did not punish for jmeasher.
All right, jmeasher having two. Yep. Go ahead.
No, we're gonna say the same thing. He's going to Dark Cross, you guys. He did it. He went to Dark Cross. Amazing. We're done.
He's a Dark Cross skipper.
Okay, now what does he do? Right. He did Pyramid Fairy, right? Like he has the blue cane.
Yep. I don't think he's done Spike Cave, but that's obviously
he'll do that.
The mountain, right?
He'll do that now. He'll get the book.
And his only choices will be to do the Smith Chain or head to Desert. So.
And I think he's more inclined to go to Desert than Jet was because he already did Magic Bat. All right, so Jet full clears Eastern, has nothing to show for it. This is the worst seed I've ever played. I hate this game. Nah. Where are we going now?
I think Desert's all he's got left, no?
Well, he's gonna go do the shovel. It looks like then probably Desert. You think you're right?
Yep.
Maybe he'll pick up the purple chest because he could turn that in on the way to Desert. True,
actually.
I don't like that play because you have to go pretty far out of your way just to get the purple chest. But I think that's it would be not uncommon to see somebody do that. Looks like Jet's just gonna go to Desert.
Yeah, with both our runners really doing pretty much all the same checks, literally almost all the same checks, you can see how the efficient routing has put Jet ahead probably, what, a minute or so, I would say?
Yeah, a little bit of time. Oh, he hasn't done a Gina Cave yet.
Oh,
we haven't seen this from either runner.
Oh, that's right. I thought he was going to come over here, but he never... Oh, you're right. Wow, how did we forget this? We're true random players, man.
Yeah, well, I always do Agina's Cave first because I hate it.
Right, you have the route where you go damn to Agina.
Well, I wouldn't have in this seed because I would have routed the same as jmeasher and got early Dark Blood access. jmeasher having a little trouble finding his X coordinate here.
I don't know if that's it. Oh, it is it. All right, okay, so he's through. Ledge is nothing, so literally 2 checks.
jmeasher just a little behind.
I guess it's more than a minute. I forgot he had to actually go in the Spike Cave. It's 2 or 3 minutes here, it looks like.
I guess it's even more than that because he hasn't done the Smith sequence.
True, yeah, that's right. He didn't do the first half.
Yeah, all that just like doing things in more efficient ways has definitely paid off for Jet here. Like, I mean, we could talk about like the execution difference because I think Jet's probably a little bit stronger execution wise than jmeasher, but it's in an hour-long seed that can't account for all that much time.
Yeah,
I think the routing is the big difference here.
So hopefully we're gonna get progression that's gonna open it, right? Oh, nothing. It's gonna be on Lammo. So we're looking for, obviously, I think whatever we get is going to open the seed right up. I'm expecting probably a mirror.
A mirror.
Although Fluke gets in the mire, right? Yeah, hookshot too. Yeah, that'd be the other one.
I think mirror would be more checks overall but hookshot would be nicer to have.
And it's on
It's on the
now, of
boss.
course.
I guess it's possible it's not here at all, right? Like it could be purple chest. We have not seen purple chest.
You're right. You said those fabled words, mirrorless smith chain, about what, 30 minutes ago now? And that's what it ends up being, man.
I mean, if you're gonna last location something, I think it's okay if it's mirrorless purple chest. No one's gonna blame you for that.
I'm just kind of surprised, like you said, that Jet started it and didn't really follow through with it. The quote unquote bad check to follow through and finish it up.
Yeah, I guess he saw like the first half of it as being a bit more efficient because he could do the Smith turn in with the magic bat. I still think it was. I don't know. I would have rather have done Eastern or Desert, but I think it's reasonable for him to do that. When it was nothing, I would have liked to see him continue it, though.
So both our runners are in Desert. As you can see, jmeasher is a couple minutes behind, but if it is Smith Chain, he still has to do the first half. And pick your poison, silvers or gold sword Lamo, either one. Probably silvers, but either way, it's not going to last very long.
Misses his quick kill, but we can go with a pretty quick kill instead. It's purple chest.
Wow!
What is this scene?
Now,
this is ridiculous.
Now, jmeasher doesn't actually know it's not the ped too. He did not check ped, so
yeah, be sure probably turn blind pole ped first. Yeah. What a terrible seed! This is awful.
Yeah, this is one of those seeds that you. Wait, how did he get bonked there? What the hell? This is one you don't forget for quite a while.
He stepped forward before starting his dash, I think. For the key dash, you have to line up the appropriate number of pixels away from the wall.
Yeah, as long as you ride the bottom wall and just stop in front of the door, usually you're in good shape.
So unless we just forgot something, this is literal last location for both of our runners.
Yep, I believe you're right, and yeah, that's got to, as horrible as this is, and as objectively you would think to yourself, almost everybody who plays this game is going to last location in this tournament anyway. It's still probably going to make him feel just a touch behind, at best.
I think if I'm Jet, I don't feel that bad because I know my routing throughout this seed, assuming that everyone else would last location purple chest. I feel like I'm probably last locationing it first. I'm going to be the first one to get back here after having done everything else because his routing has just been so efficient, so clean.
Yep, I agree. Yeah. So what do let's call it here, Koi. What are you going to see here?
Oh, it's the mirror. Hands down. Definitely the mirror.
I'm going to say hookshot.
Ah, you win.
Wow. All right.
Well, the hookshot's going to lead to the mirror, though, so it's basically the mirror.
We're both right. So yeah, that does open up a lot of checks. East Death Mountain, Dark East Death Mountain. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's a lot.
Tower of Hair as well. So yeah, this is definitely the item they wanted to find. Hookshot is a lot nicer than the mirror because the mirror leads to 100 different things in 100 different places, and the hookshot goes one place with 100 things.
And so, what are we going to see here? Are we going to see the ped pull from jmeasher?
I think he has to, right?
Yeah. Here we go. He is. Yeah. I wonder if he'll read it first or just blind pull. What do you think? And Jet picked up Bombos on his screen.
I would always blind pull it, but I think with quick swap, in a tournament, it's probably prudent to check it first.
Yeah, that's a good 10-second animation, right? No.
The fake
For all
out.
the glory. Oh, that feels bad.
So
Yeah, you have to feel for jmeasher.
Yeah, after an hour 6 minutes here, Jet has a pretty comfortable lead. But it's not over, right? We still need the Ice Rod. We still need the Canis Maria. We still need the Mirror. We still need the Flute. And we might need Quake as well.
Yeah, there is a lot to go still. Although we've checked a lot, so an Ice Rod hunt won't be awful, but it's still one of the few things that can be a great equalizer.
Did he not
Okay,
go to
Bombo's still going to
Hera?
get us into Turtle Rock. I don't believe so. No, he did Paradox. He opened Turtle Rock. I imagine he's obviously going to jump off because he doesn't have Kane.
Why
But
would
yeah,
he do
no,
that?
he did not go to Hera.
That's weird. Maybe he found the mirror and I didn't notice it.
Yeah, maybe. I kind of been keeping my eye on it. I don't think I saw it. But yeah, that's a long run up to get back to it, right? You got to go all the way around.
That's huge.
It's possible to get them in. Remember, folks who maybe come in late, our tracking server is a little slow today. So if we do get behind on the tracking, you can just don't blame our track arrive. It's the actual tracking software itself.
It would be more convenient to do Hera last if he did have the mirror. But he did find the mirror. Okay.
He did. He got it. Okay, so weird.
It.
Ah, we're terrible. All right, so this makes more sense then. There it shows up now. Okay. Yeah, our tracker's saying it was the 4th or 5th chest in Paradox and blaming the tracking software. I'm just kidding. Other than that, though, doesn't look like much of anything else, so...
Need much else, though? Now we can do Cave 45 and Graveyard Ledge and the entirety of Palace. Oh, there's the cane. Nice.
Bombos as well. Bombos tablet.
One step closer to that Ice Rod Go mode that we all want to see.
Oof.
All right, where do I sign the petition for next SG Live to be Ice Rod start instead of boot start?
Ice Rod in Link's house, guaranteed.
Please.
I'd get on board with that, honestly, because Ice Rod hunt is really the cruelest way to end the game, right? It's not really indicative of the runner's skill or execution. It's really, were you lucky and you... I mean, there's a little bit, but it's mostly like, hey, did you find the right spot for the Ice Rod?
Yeah,
so
the truth is, though, like, even if we eliminated the possibility of Ice Rod hunts, then it's just a Medallion hunt seeds, and then it's just the Bow hunt seeds, and then it's just the Cane hunt seeds. You know, there's always something. We just like to pick on the Ice Rod.
That's true. Ether Tablet was our Cane of Samaria, right?
Yeah, Cane of Samaria. Still looking for the Flute. Still looking for the Ice Rod. Maybe Quake.
Yeah, and as would be expected, jmeasher is really not happy to see that hook shot there. I think he probably knew it was something important, so he's probably bracing himself. But yeah, that hurts to see hook shot there. And no Hera pot from Jet. Interesting. I think he got the small key.
Yeah, it's so if you have the big key, then Hera pot is just like a slightly faster way to get up the tower, right? If you don't have the big key, then Hera pot is now a risk. It's a gamble. I might skip something good if I do it. maybe Jet just wasn't ready for that play.
Yeah, it looks like I'm positive he picked up a small key in the basement, so he must have gotten the big key out of the map chest or compass chest, whatever it is. But I can see it. If you're not like extremely proficient at it, it is like a waste of time. I know I'm not. Sometimes I just say screw it.
It was big key in the basement.
Oh, did he do the basement? That's right, he did do the basement.
Yeah, he did the basement.
We missed the bio basement. Unfortunate.
Yeah, so if he had done Harapot, he would have orphaned that item in the big chest. Which we know now because he did it. It's just 20 rupees, but kind of it's a risky play. And like I said, like the purple chest is this equalizer. It's so horrible of a location that you can be pretty comfortable in that, assuming that your opponent would also last location it. So I think Jet probably feels not so bad about it because he knows his routing has been efficient up till that point. Okay, so now this is impactful. Jet did not go back to TR in order to check it out without the ice rod. This is going to be an opportunity for jmeasher to change the outcome.
Yeah, because how long does it take to run from the front to the very end of TR? The ice rod's not there, and you can't save a portal.
Yeah, it's got
to be at least 3 or 4 minutes, right?
it's pretty significant. I'm not saying he should have done it. I'm just saying he could have done it and chose not to. I think this is the better play here for Jet is to not go into TR. But this just means this is going to be an opportunity for jmeasher to route differently and maybe gain a lead. So Harapot for jmeasher, he saves like 90 seconds for doing that. He needs those time saves. Very important that he did something like that. And we know it's not going to punish him, but he doesn't. Might be a little worried about it afterwards.
Yeah, I think if you're Jet, it's correct here to go into Swamp, and I think if you're jmeasher, it's correct to go into TR, considering the way you've been playing the seed. Like, it's obviously a gamble, right? And you've been gambling all seed, and it hasn't paid off yet, so no reason to just stick to the logical way to go, because you know if your opponent did it, you're still instantly behind.
Yeah, it's kind of this weird situation here where if you can get into Turtle Rock, there's probably something in Turtle Rock. Very, very likely.
Yeah,
but
isn't that your golden rule? If you can get into Turtle Rock and you're there, you go in.
Right, but the problem is that thing that's in Turtle Rock is probably not the ice rod, right?
True. Oh yeah, double dipping TR, that's never happened before.
So like in this situation, it feels really bad to go into Turtle Rock, but I don't think it's necessarily wrong. Like if you get really lucky, the ice rod's just in Turtle Rock, or whatever item you find in Turtle Rock leads to the ice rod. I wouldn't be that surprised to see jmeasher do it, especially with the way he's routed, where he's doing Dark Death Mountain last rather than Hera last. So he's going to end up, when he's done on the mountain, he's next to Turtle Rock. It's an easier play for him to just go one screen over and enter, where Jet, he'd have to go all the way back and reach for the Dark World.
If you really want to spice your race, let's see Flute in the first chest of Turtle Rock.
I think the big reason not to do TR, though, is because you have Swamp as your other thing to do. It kind of eliminates any possibility of saving the portal, right?
Yeah, that's true, actually, yeah. Yeah, Swamp is the last thing.
Yeah, Swamp and the other mirror checks we haven't seen. And
Bomb Blast have it, right.
Yeah, so doing any mirror checks is going to erase your portal, so it would feel really bad to go into Swamp, or go into TR and knowing that you're probably not going to save the portal. But if you need to make a gamble...
Yeah, I hope he does, honestly, because that's really what we need to see from him. And just by the way, in case people don't know, this is a single elimination. I mean, you lose, you're done, so everything's on the line. Alrighty, let's see. I always got spiral caves though.
I think he's not going to go into TR then.
I was gonna say it makes it much less likely he climbs all the way back up just to go to TR. But you never know, we'll see.
Alright, I didn't see any progression in Swamp for Jet. He has
I
not
don't
done
know.
left side though.
Yeah, and I was keeping a little bit of time. I don't think I saw either the map or the compass, but I'm sure our tracker will probably correct me here pretty quickly. Obviously saw one because Jet's going back in.
Yeah, there's at least one thing because we saw the big key on the boss.
All right.
Alright, jmeasher did leave the mountain, go it straight to Swamp. So, about just, you know, most of Swamp behind. It's a little unfortunate for our point of view that he didn't make the play, because that's the kind of thing he'd have to do to make up this time loss. And definitely at least one thing left side Swamp. Because there's the map.
He can save a little bit of time if he does do the full clear the first time through doing the diver down glitch. That'll be a little bit of a time save.
Yeah, I think he probably won't do that though.
Yeah, I agree.
The value of skipping left side Swamp entirely is much greater than the value of the time you might save from doing diver down and doing left side Swamp first. So I think if you're in a situation where you might skip left side Swamp, you probably should try to skip it. But, you know, like early in the game, you know, I find a map in the first chest. I'm missing 100 things for go mode. Yeah, I'll probably just do left side first.
And with only 2 checks in Mire and 2 checks here, it's looking more and more likely that we're looking at an ice rod on Laser Bridge where it likes to call its home quite a bit.
We can't even get to Mire.
Yeah, true. And we need to pick up our flute here, which I'm thinking is going to be here. But we could be looking.
We do have some mirror checks. Like after Swamp, we have Bombos, K45, and Graveyard Ledge. 300 rupees, and looks like there was 2 items here. Jet's going to the other chest. And there's nothing. Swamp was empty! Amazing! Oh my goodness.
Alright, so potential time saves for jmeasher if he does not skip do left side Swamp and just completely
but
says,
he's gonna do left side Swamp though, because it's 3 items.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if he skips it, then it's 2 items left side Swamp.
And the big
I guess
chest.
it's 2. Yeah. It's 2 items.
Oh yeah, he'll know it's 2
items.
Yeah. There's our other medallion in case we need it.
Might need that, I guess.
Alright, K45, and if it's not that, you're pretty sad because Graveyard Ledge is pretty out of the way. Not too bad with boots, though.
And
okay.
Something! Yay!
As we crest the hour and 20-minute mark where a lot of these seeds are finishing, you still have 3 crystals to pick up for jmeasher and 2 for Jet.
And it is confirmed. This is in fact Ice Rod Go mode.
There it is. Unfortunate.
Yay!
But...
So it's what we always wanted.
Hooray! In before we get a Godmire too. Alright, jmeasher, leave. You're done here.
Skip left side. Skip left side.
Skip it. Send our energy his way. Do not go back in.
It's so hard to skip it here. Like you can't skip it, right? It's so much worse to skip it here. 2 items. My only other options are a couple mirror checks and going back to TR with no ice rod.
Oh, yeah, that goes
It-
against all the instincts, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely the correct play to go back in here for both Jet and jmeasher. It's only because of our perspective that we think he should skip it, right? Because we know he needs to do something like that to win, but he doesn't know that. As far as he knows, Jet's having as terrible a time as he is.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, we get to sit up here on our perch and act like we know what the hell we're doing, but yeah, these guys are still playing pretty well, in my opinion.
There was Quake too.
Wow.
I'm surprised he didn't do checkerboard before going
Yeah,
in.
definitely. You definitely want to
There's
go
a
Meyer.
there's a potential amount of like you could potentially save a lot of time if you get to go mode Meyer.
Yeah, especially if you have to do cutscene chests. This talking in the minutes here, honestly. Probably not enough at this point, but hey, this seed has been pretty weird already, so you never know.
Yeah, in all likelihood, the ice rod's just in Turtle Rock at this point.
So what checks, considering if it's not in Mire, and if Jet decides to do Graveyard Ledge, do we have any other checks left in the game?
I don't think so. Just Graveyard Ledge.
Graveyard Ledge and TR, I think, is all that's left, right?
Yeah, and then checkerboard of Meyer, which we're doing now.
Right, checkerboard, yeah.
jmeasher finishing up Swamp Palace here. Finally made his way to Left Side Swamp to get 2 items. But they're terrible. And it was Quake to open Meyer, so Bombo's tablet is required. Very, very likely jmeasher will just do that now.
Yeah, absolutely. So the only spice we might have left is if Ice Rod is in Graveyard Ledge and Jet decides to skip it for some reason. And jmeasher doesn't. You can't save a portal there too, so...
Yeah, it would make sense to do Graveyard Ledge before going. And small key in the top torch room means big key in the bottom torch room. Though I do think if you're the kind of person who would go to Graveyard Ledge before going to TR, you do it before Meyer. Like activate the flute and then go back to the Dark World and check Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah, anything to go mode Meyer, right? Although we know that you have to go get the big key from this cutscene chest anyway, but still. That's what you gotta love about this game. Even after an hour and a half almost of watching this crazy seed, there's still potentially a chance that two different decisions can lead to this race end up being pretty close.
Jet continuing over to the right side of Meyer for his full clear. Still looking for that ice rod.
All right, if you didn't salute while Jet was activating his flute, you gotta salute now.
Just 10 arrows in that big chest. And he skipped the other chest, so I think that must have been the second item. Yeah, jmeasher is not going to Graveyard Ledge. Again, I think it's the better play to not go to Graveyard Ledge. I think it's more likely to pay off to skip it. But we know that jmeasher, he's got to make a play to catch up to Jet here.
Yeah, in a vacuum, obviously we know what's going on, but there's nothing wrong with this play whatsoever. All right, both runners in Mire. We're going to see Mire 2 from jmeasher. Doesn't have fire odd out, so it's a pretty quick room if you have sword beams.
Yeah, just 2 cycle instead of 1 cycle. Not a big difference.
And insert your blink if you miss it meme here, because this Fitcher's fight is a joke with silver arrows. So I think as long as Jet checks Graveyard Ledge before he heads up to TR, this is, I don't want to say in the bag, but he's got a pretty sizable lead, which would require some significant mistakes.
No, Graveyard Ledge is pretty slow, though. Like if he checks Graveyard Ledge, it's nothing, and then jmeasher skips it. Like, they're a lot closer than before.
It's just going to be here in checkerboard, because I forgot about it anyway.
Ice Rod is probably Turtle Rock, but yeah, it's probably Turtle Rock.
All right.
Yeah, Jet not going after Graveyard Ledge. This is that situation I was talking about at the beginning of the seed, right? Where you don't want to orphan things to the point where you know it's going to be your last location, and if it's there, you just lose the race, right? But sometimes the game doesn't really give you much of a choice. There was no convenient way to route in Graveyard Ledge in this seed.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there was ever an opportunity to route it with anything else.
Yeah, and even now with boots, flute, mitts, it's still such a slow check that you just can't justify going to it over something like Turtle Rock.
Of course, with our bird's eye view, we know that that's pretty much the last play that jmeasher can make to even this up. So,
I mean, there's some accounting for like gain of sour big key guessing, right? Like, there's I think up to 7 minutes difference if like you find it in the first chest in tower room and I full clear. But,
okay, wow, 7 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 7 minutes if you do 22 checks and I do 1. Something close to that, but you know, more often there's a difference of like 5 checks rather than 21 checks.
Yeah, nobody. Oh, then
there's the ice rod in the first chest.
Wow. Okay. All right, just where you'd want to see it, honestly.
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very difficult for jmeasher to come back now. Like, even if he did Graveyard Ledge, like, we know that's nothing now.
Yeah.
There's that second item in Mire.
So Jet's going to make his way through Turtle Rock. Not the most go-modable dungeon, but there are a couple of things you can skip. And if you get lucky with key layouts as well. Gets through the dangerous chain chomp room.
I guess there's like a couple places where time could be made up here. There's always that really small percent chance of the keys messing you up. Or wait, did they get the big key?
I don't think they've gotten the big key yet. I'm not sure though, actually. I should know, but
he got the big key, skipping the lava chest.
Oh yeah.
So there's a very, very small percent chance that there's a small key in both lava chest and the big chest, and if you skip both of them, then you're forced to backtrack through the dungeon to get one of them.
So I don't know enough about the key layouts, but is there not a key layout where if you happen to skip the big chest, you can get messed up by laser bridge?
Yeah, you have to skip both big chests and lava chests, and for them both to be small keys.
Right. Okay. So that's it's a pretty rare occurrence, but
oh yeah, it's very rare. If I remember right, the percent chance of that happening is lower than pedestal being required.
Wow. All right, that's good information.
I think so. That's somebody told me that once. They're probably pretty close either way. But you know, that's one way time could be made up for jmeasher is if Jet gets ruined by that layout and jmeasher doesn't. But like, there's no reason jmeasher would route Turtle Rock thoroughly, you know, to avoid it. So if it happened to Jet, it's probably happening to jmeasher too.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way he's thinking, I better get this chest just in case. I mean, if he was thinking that way, he would have done crazy stuff like going to the graveyard before, right? So,
well, I mean, this is the moment. If he's going to Graveyard Ledge, now's the time. And there's that small key for Jet.
Yeah.
He is going to Graveyard Ledge. Well, look at that.
Oh wow! So he would have.
No, I like this. I like this.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's not going to pay off. We know where the ice rod is now, but from jmeasher's point of view, he had to do this to even have a chance. Or from our point of view, this is the only thing jmeasher could do to even have a chance.
Yep, absolutely.
Instead, it's gonna slightly more cement Jet's win, but it's not a difference maker really. But had it been the ice rod, hoo boy.
Yeah, if it was the ice rod, we were pretty close. No portal being saved, etc. It would have been pretty damn close. Jet takes down Trinex, and so he's going to head to GT. Unfortunately, we don't have the big key guessing game for you, but you can go ahead and guess in chat anyway, and have fun policing yourselves, chat, for the winner. What are you guessing, Koi? What's your guess for the big key?
1.
Wow. I'm gonna say 14 Bob's chest, depending on routing. I'll say 14.
Chonk, chonk,
All right.
chonk.
And with nothing equipment-wise needed, Jet's gonna go straight for the big key and head on up. No extra chest checking.
I love the noise that the staircase makes when you open GT.
Oh yeah. The sound effects are amazing for this game, considering how old it is, honestly. All right, Hope Room first. No key, so he's forced to head left. See if he mirrors from Stalfos Room or continues full left. Three is nothing.
All the small keys.
Yeah, here's the keys. He's killing Stalfos, so assuming he's going to continue left. 7, 8. There are keys. Wow. And there it is. Number 9. If you picked 9 in the chat, pat yourself on the back. Get yourself a nice big old glass of chocolate milk. Wait, was that not 9?
No, it was 8. 2,
Can I not count?
1, 7, 8.
Wow. All right, well, what a great way to end this seed. Me proving I can't count.
Never do math on stream.
Oh, I debated myself. Yeah, I have no idea why the hell I thought that was 9. That's my brain is mush. These seeds are usually over 20 minutes ago, guys. Jeez, I wasn't prepared for this.
Pretty efficient full clear seed though, right? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we're gonna end up with like what, low 140s time for a Jet at this point. That's pretty fast for having done every single dungeon. And that's
Now, granted, we start with the boots, but
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
But the big thing is we had very little double dipping this seed. The only thing I could think of that we double dip was Skullwoods.
Yep, I think you're right.
It takes out his last gauntlet. Yeah. Yeah, usually you go for the fire rod kill. It's a lot more consistent. Sometimes I go for the arrow kill because I don't want to have to menu to fire rod, but you know, quick swap.
Yeah, quick swap
gets it
is
no
a godsend.
problem.
I hope it sticks around for sure. And the room, which feels like the game was made, Canis Mario was made for, it feels so good, that room. While we're running up GT here, what items are looming out there? What did we miss? We missed Bugnet, the cape, and it looks like half magic.
Yeah, I'm sure they're just in random room.
Of course, yeah. Well, we know they're in GT, right? Because I believe every single other check in the game outside of GT was done. Well, that's not true. There's what,
Graveyard
2 checks
Ledge.
in no. Oh, we didn't know he did Graveyard Ledge. jmeasher did Graveyard
Oh
Ledge.
yeah, that's right. I
It was
remember.
an arrow. There's 2 chests on Laser Bridge, and the lava chest and the big chest in TR weren't checked, so I guess technically they could be there. But we're gonna pretend like we know what we're talking about and say they're in GT. Trollorm 2 down. Will he check the final chest? I highly doubt it.
Yeah, there's nothing to find.
Absolutely, totally, fully kitted out. Red mail. More than enough hearts, silver arrows, gold swords. It's 25 minutes. It's good to go, and it's time to do a little agonometry. Very nice triple. Oh, good setup here. Oh, trolled.
Well, that was a gimme cycle. We'll just pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah, this
Ag is
really
actually
mega.
like really, really difficult to do consistently fast.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was just cosplaying as me for that second cycle, so
Those are
all
4
good. He gets a
cycles.
pass.
4 cycles is
I
good.
believe so, yeah. And as the duck randomly somehow can now fly in the dark world, taking you to Ganon, jmeasher's going to head over to do his GT, so he is quite a bit behind, and we're talking GT's what, 7 minutes, depending on from here, considering where he's going to find the key.
The gauntlet plus Ganon is right around 6 minutes ish. So then plus whatever time it takes to find the big key, which should be pretty quick unless he does Dark Magician.
And the big pig requires 6 slashes with the gold sword in each. And so if you can't get the 1-on-1 with the gold sword, then I don't know what to say.
Don't shame people.
Don't worry. I'm just projecting. I always get the 1-on-1 with gold sword. And it's going to do some warps, and Jet's got his silver arrows ready to go.
No,
Ooh,
that
that
was
was close.
Monka S. Don't do that, Jet.
But he does get the triple, so wow,
Yeah, so
that
he
was scary.
he intentionally passes on the torch glitch because he wants to stalk in and in such a way that he can get the triple. But the nature of how he did it made it to where he couldn't see exactly where Ganon was going to land. And if he lands on top of you, you probably fall off right there.
And get your GGs in chat
GG.
for Jet with thumbs down. He does not approve of this seed. I do not blame him at all.
Pretty terrible.
I'm gonna see if okay, so I can get Jet's official race time was 1:41:49. jmeasher just finishing up his climb here now that he's found his big key.
Yeah, he's about like 6-ish minutes out from finishing.
I'm not sure if we're going to get interviews or not. I wouldn't blame either of them if they just want to say, go take a a nice tall drink of water and get the hell out of here, because this is definitely the highest time I've ever seen for a boots seed in this tournament. Because that, of course, we get the trolliest seed out there. The seeds, they just follow you, Koi.
Yeah, I'm just lucky like that. Well, I'm not the one playing, so it's fine.
Oh man. So as we mentioned before, it is a single elimination, so unfortunately jmeasher is going to be eliminated. Jet's going to move on. I do not believe we know who he's going to play yet. I'm going to see if I can look up who he could potentially play. All right, let's take a look at these brackets. Jet versus jmeasher. He will play the winner of Yagamoth versus Ninban, which I believe is later tonight. It's actually going on right now. It's not being restreamed, unfortunately, but they started their race about 45 minutes ago, it looks like, so interesting. If you are interested to see the brackets, you can actually follow them if you just go to the ALTTPR room in the SpeedGaming Live Discord server. I think that actually it's SG Live 2020, but there is in the pins, there's a link to the challenge if you want to keep track of the brackets. There's so many good names.
Oh yeah, I think this holds true for every single competitive format of this game nowadays. There are no bad players anymore. There's no such thing as a free win once you're in like the top 64. And this is the top 32.
jmeasher's just going to go ahead and right through that room. He doesn't need keys. Do the bomb trick. Probably not going to powder since he's low on magic. I think at this point, jmeasher, yeah, he's obviously, I think he's taking a look over and he's seen the Jets one, so a little discouraging, but he's a gamer. He's going to finish it out.
Maybe he'll have a better Agatu. Oh, misses the triple.
He picks up one there, though.
Yeah, basically the same. Oh, and the double.
Nice double?
Yeah, so this will be 4 cycles as well. It looked cleaner overall, though. So, style points?
It did, yeah. Give him the swag. All right, he's dropping in at 146.50. Let's see if he can do sub 90-second again fight here.
Well, probably not sub 90-second.
Oh, but he dropped in at what, 146.50? So 148.50 is 90 seconds, right? Or 20, 148.20.
What did I tell you about doing math?
Yo, come on, man. Fill the time. Fill the time. Come on. Leave me alone. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it was 146.50 when he did drop in, so. Gotta make it spicy. I think he can do it.
Oh, he can do it.
All right, and he's going to get the same warps and patterns. It's not oh, geez, in the same setup. Oh. Oh no, this might put his sub 90-second Ganon in danger. All right, get your GGs in for jmeasher with an official time of 148.15. I heard the bling. Who joined it?
GG,
It looks
guy.
like Jet.
Oh, Jet's here. Hi, Jet.
Jet has joined us. GG, Jet.
Hey, how's it going?
I asked for help, but I thought we didn't get help. I guess we got help after all.
We did. So, what a lovely, lovely seed you played, sir.
Oh, felt so bad. It was actually feeling pretty good. We got butter early. We had a handful of progression. Like, it didn't take us too long to get Dark World access. And then it just fell apart. Oh my gosh.
And we have jmeasher here as well.
Hey, GG.
This seed was terrible, you guys.
GG, sir. So,
Yeah.
Jet, yeah, sorry, go ahead, jmeasher. Sorry about that. Go
No,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, that was pretty terrible.
How did you feel after you picked up the hook shot out of the purple chest?
Very
I'll start
bad. That was my last location, and like I already wasted time going into Eastern, following the green pendant from Pod, going into desert, follow shovel that I got. I don't know. I got all the fetch quests at some point, and it's just like nothing. And I'm like, I must be so far behind. It's sitting at purple chest, and I'm worried on my way to purple chest. Like, what did I miss? Because when you're down to your last location, you're panicking and thinking, did I just completely skip something that I forgot? So, yeah, getting hookshot out of that, I'm like, all right, well, now I'm just behind.
Do you feel all that behind though? Because like,
I always feel behind.
if you're gonna last location something, like mirrorless purple chest seems like a pretty fair thing to do to last location.
It's like I didn't feel as bad, I guess, in some other seeds where I last location an item. Like I felt like there was a chance it would happen to both of us. It's just like, what do you do after you get hookshot to try to make up some time? And again, I felt like I was making all the wrong calls.
That sounds oddly familiar to my experience, which, I mean, basically the same thing. It's like, once it got down to Smith sequence, I was like, oh man, like, after I pulled Ped, that's when I was like, oh man, like I have to be so far behind because Smith sequence was available. Yeah, it's terrible. It sucks to do it mirrorless, but there was an opportunity for me to do it after Skull Woods,
Right.
and I was like, no, it's too slow. I'm already kind of feeling behind with, you know, the whole Pod Eastern sequence there. Like, I can't justify it right now. And yeah, once I got down to it, I had the exact same thought as I was walking up to turn in the purple chest. It's just like, man, if this is not something, then something's gone really, really wrong. But yeah, I just felt like all the gambles I took this seed, none of them paid off except, I guess, hair potting hair. The only item I had left in the game.
All I had left was Graveyard Ledge and Spiral Cave. Like those were the two I skipped. Like I'm like, that's the only time I'm saving this seed, or those two things. Like the moment I picked up Book, I knew I had to beeline it to check because Ped was open then. Ped was completely open, so I needed to go check it. And I'm like, you know what? We can do hammer pegs. We can do blacksmith. I'll just rattle this together, make sure it's not a Ped seed, and just never check purple chest after that. Because why would I do that?
Honestly, if either of you had checked purple chest at any point before last location, I would have said you were crazy.
Yeah,
It's
Koi
such
went
a
to all
time
the way.
waste without flute. Like, how are you gonna?
I was
route that
surprised
in?
you actually did
Okay.
the other half of it, that you did the smith and all that. It was a little better for you because you still had magic bat and you wanted to check pedestal, so I could see it, but like I was like, no, you go to like the pendants, right? Surely, but you were like, oh no, smith's the play.
Yeah, from our perspective, there was only 4 checks outside of GT that we didn't see. That was the 4 checks in TR that you guys didn't do. Lava chest, big chest, and the last 2 chests on Laser Bridge. Other than that, we saw literally every other check in the game outside GT. So it's a pretty thorough seed, I guess you could call it.
So
Honestly, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the one thing I wanted to talk about was I don't know, did you dip TR? Like, did you go in TR your first time
No, he didn't.
in Dark Death?
No.
I
I did
really,
think about
really
it.
considered it. Yeah,
I'm like, this is gonna be the difference here. One of us is gonna early dip in there, and the other person isn't. My thought process is we're on the left-hand side, and I did Hera right after it. So I'm doing Hera anyway, and I'm like, it's not that bad to go from Hera to Turtle Rock versus the old man to Turtle Rock. So I'm like, I might as well go check Swamp, just in case, Ice Rod happens to be there instead. So I felt like there wasn't really a difference. I was planning on trying to skip left-hand side Swamp, so hopefully I wouldn't waste too much time, but that didn't work out.
Did you skip Spiral Cave?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. jmeasher routed a little differently. He went to Hera. He like climbed once, went to Hera, and then did Dark Death Mountain, and then ended with Spiral Cave, since he was on that side of the mountain.
yeah, it was really, really tempting. The thing that put me off was I was like, if Ice Rod isn't in TR, I'm almost certainly not going to be able to save this portal. Because so many of my checks remaining were mirror spots, like Swamp, K45, Graveyard Ledge, Checkerboard, like so many mirror spots. So I was like, if I'm going into TR, I want to be able to save that portal, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. And yeah, just of course, the first chest in TR is Ice Rod, because of course.
we at the time we were really hoping you were going to go in, because from our perspective we knew that Jet had a pretty decent lead, and that this was like the one thing you could do to really have a deviation over what he's doing rather than just following him around. But in a vacuum, like if it wasn't a race, it does make way more sense to not go into Turtle Rock because of the mirror locations, like you say.
Yeah, we were screaming at you to just check the TR or just skip left side Swamp, or we were pretty happy when you went to Graveyard Ledge. At that point, we knew that it wasn't the play, but we were just talking about it for a while, saying, hopefully it does something, out of the way. Because if the Ice Rod was there, this would have been hella close, honestly.
I had a thought though. If we only needed Ice Rod, I might have went into Turtle Rock with how behind I felt. But the fact is, by that point, I was still 3 items from go mode, so I knew I would probably get value just by going to Swamp. But if Ice Rod was the only thing I was missing, I might have gambled Turtle Rock at that point.
Yeah, for me, I had Kane, so I only needed 2. But yeah, I was still being down the flute and the Ice Rod at that point. Just
right, 2 items. Yeah,
honestly,
I forgot Kane was the 3rd item I needed.
Yeah, I felt like it was a little more of a gamble to be skipping TR at that point, oddly enough, and I felt like that was a gamble I needed to make.
Oh.
And how about the flute and Quake location? The fact that Quake was required, and they were like both the mirror locations right outside the Swamp area. So it's like you waste time with Swamp, but your progression is actually right outside.
Yeah. Oh man, that map being the big chest at Swamp was terrible, because if that had been an item, I was absolutely going to skip left side.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the sad part though. Like even if you had gone into Turtle Rock first, and you get the ice rod, and it's like, oh, that's nice, right? Then you just end up full clearing Turtle Rock, and then full clearing Swamp, and then finding Go mode anyway. So like nothing's actually gained.
Like, I don't know how to, like, it might have made this slightly closer, but I probably still would have been too far behind at that point. Would have been interesting, but you know, it is what it is.
That I mean, all over the big difference between you was just Jet routed like the game was going to make him full clear, and you routed like it was a normal seed, and the game made you full clear. So it was just lots of little things, like how you did Eastern and then came back later for Green Pendant, or you did Magic Bat and then came back later for Smith Sequence, where Jet did them mostly all together.
Yeah, eventually I just got to a point where like I have too many things I need to check. I just want to bundle it all together so I don't have to backtrack. Feels bad every single check when it doesn't pay out though. Then you're like, well, that was a time waste.
Yeah, and I felt pretty nice early getting that early hammer in Saw's Claw.
Yep.
I was like, man, I getting the glove immediately afterwards. It's like, it's going to be super fast Dark World, which is both good and terrible. And yeah, ended up making my routing a little bit less efficient, maybe here and there in spots. And I was trying to play as aggressively as I could.
So you went right to pod like right after hammer. Like, did you go from? It was behind Sahasra, the right hammer. Did you just go right into pod after that?
No. I hammer was the very first thing I got. I went to Saha's closet immediately. But once I had gotten my Dark World access and found that bow in Village,
okay,
and did Eastern, finished that, and then went to pod immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
jmeasher was in Dark World like a whole 10 minutes before you. Because he skipped like Ice Heart Cave, Aegina's Cave, Front of Escape. But you know, then the game just makes you full clear because everything's bottlenecked behind the worst possible location of the game.
I don't know if you guys
didn't actually turn into anything.
I didn't even know what to do with myself when I got mitts. Like I was mentally preparing myself for either nothing or maybe something like mirror. So I'm like, okay, if we get mirror, we're going up the Death Mountain. So I'm mentally preparing, and then I get glove. I'm like, what the heck do I do with this thing? So I go to my house, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? No, there's like nothing to check.
I was going to ask you about that.
Tomb and figure it out from there.
So you both routed pod trying to skip the vanilla big key chest. So you ended up with item on green pendant helmet and item in vanilla big key chest. And Jet, you went to the boss first. So I assume you were just resigned to getting those two items. Like it's two items. Might as well just get it. It doesn't matter what's in here. I'm going to do both of these anyway.
Basically, I was isolating Pyramid and Catfish at that point, where I'm like, I know they're both items. I'm going to kill the boss because it's more efficient without mirror. Kill the boss and then go get that one chest. But it means I'm doing a save and quit afterwards.
Yeah.
Unless I lock in the mirror, which is what I was hoping for.
But for jmeasher, he did vanilla big key chest first and got the mitts and then killed the boss anyway. And so like that had to be a really rough decision point for you, jmeasher, because it's like, mitts, this is major progression. I don't want to kill a pendant boss when I got major progression, but the mitts don't do much at all. This is terrible.
Yeah, it's basically Smith Sequence and King's Doom. And at that point, I was already considering Pedestal. So there was no way I was skipping.
Yeah, you had to be thinking about Pedestal because you went Eastern first.
I was 100% thinking Pedestal, so I was like, I have to kill this boss. There's an item, green pendant, and potentially Pedestal. I can't skip this. Like the mitts don't open up enough.
I was thinking, like if instead of mitts it was the mirror or the hook shot, I think maybe it would have been more reasonable to not kill Helmasaur. Like it's still not that bad being two items, but
it unlocks so much more at that point.
Yeah, because that's like mirror hook shot gives you all of Death Mountain, which is probably where the mitts are, which gives you like 100,000 other things.
Mirror would have sent me to the mountain immediately. I probably would have skipped Helm at that point.
Yeah,
with mitts, there was no way.
It was just super rough, and then the game keeps giving you like just a tiny little crumb, Okay, you can go do one more thing. I swear you don't got to do mirrorless Smith Sequence. I swear, just go do Ice Palace. Just go do the shovel.
The
Man,
Pyramid
it
Fairy
felt
was
like
the biggest
so long
debate.
ago. Such a long seed.
Oh, I really wanted it to be Pyramid Fairy. I was really hoping it was when I went to do the relatively early Ice Palace,
Yeah, same.
but alas.
Oh, that book though. You guys go, you get your mitts out of pendant pod, right? And it leads to the fire rod, which then you get the mushroom and it leads to nothing. Then you go, okay, it's obviously Pyramid Fairy, and the only thing Pyramid Fairy gives you is like logical Spike Cave. Spike Cave is clearly the answer. Let me just check Spectacle Rock Cave real quick. What the book?
That was my exact thought process. I'm like, oh, good book. I can nail pedestal.
Yay!
Yeah, that was us too. We were
That
seeing
was
like, hey,
that was a roller coaster of emotions for me because I was like, book, oh no. Wait, if it's pedestal, then I might be okay here. But yeah. And in a lot of ways this felt like a little bit of karmic retribution for our last race, Jet, so I guess maybe we can call it even.
Very
All
mean
right.
seed.
any final thoughts that you guys want to relay to the fans watching?
Never play the seed.
Thanks for putting on this production and for the recording and commentating this, guys. And tournament's been a lot of fun. Gotta be honest though, kind of glad I don't have to do any more races at this point.
Yeah, thanks
It's
for
kind
the
of bittersweet, right?
Yeah.
thanks for the race, jmeasher.
Yeah, no problem. GG's again, and good luck, man.
Thanks.
All right, Koi, any last words, sir?
That's I feel relieved for jmeasher. Like, it sucks to lose and everything, but I know firsthand that the stress of these races can be just as upsetting as losing the races. So a little bittersweet for him, and good luck to Jet moving forward. Hopefully he keeps winning and feeling good about it.
Thanks.
And no more seeds like this.
Yeah, I'll echo all that. No more seats like this. Good luck to Jet. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody, and we will see you next time. Peace.